Good morning. It's good to be with you all this morning on this most auspicious day, because after 20 years of being a minister here, my children holding me up the whole time, they're here too, and all of you, and I will be saying thank you to you all later on. I'm going to try to do bunches and stuff because of you this center exists, and I never want you to forget that. I just showed up once in a while, so thank you. I'm going to cry. So on this note, we're going to do perfect song, I release and I let go. Stand up and we'll sing. The words are on the screen.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
This is so wonderful. I've been traveling a lot. First of all, my name is Reverend Pam Geagan, and I am retiring, for those on Facebook world, after 20 years of ministry here. And also, I was a minister under Dr. Sue Rubin, who will be sharing the platform with me today. I said, you brought me in, you're taking me out. So, so anyway, this is who we are. We are blank slate. We can be anything because Kelly's coming in. And now it's my honor to bring up Reverend Lynn Chaplin-Noe, who's been with us just about all the time I've been here. And so it is! Yay!
Feels like 15 minutes, not 15 years. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Pleasant Valley. Our vision is awakening humanity to its spiritual magnificence, and how we do that is teaching and demonstrating spiritual principles for living a fulfilling and abundant life in a welcoming, compassionate community. And we have our flames of faith. Reverend Pam, would you like to come and help me? You know, I can't find the mallet. So go say ding. I don't know. Say ding.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Oh. We perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. We light a candle for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony, equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle of Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as a path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of New Thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. Heard that one. We light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them at this center, and for all religions unnamed in this ceremony. And so it is. Thank you, Reverend Pam. You've got great chops there. That's your new career? A dinger. And now it's time for a quote by our beloved Reverend Betty Ann Brennan. Let's read this together, shall we? Together. Today, I choose to focus on spiritual perfection, outpicturing as moments of happiness, love, and wonder. I am willing to express God in every area of my life. And so it is. Thank you, Reverend Betty Ann. And I'd like to introduce now a song by Karen Drucker, if you are familiar with her. So this is a song by the wonderful Karen Drucker.
And it is dedicated to all of you. That's all I can say. And don't cry. Don't cry.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my arms. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my arms. You are my family. My family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my arms. You are my family. My family. You are the face of love. Face of love. You are the face of God. Face of God. I hold you in my arms. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. Face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my arms. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of You are the face of God. You are the face of You are the face of You are the face of sin. You are the face of love. You are the
Good morning. Wow, that was a tough act to follow, as if all the others so far haven't been. It's been a fabulous day, starting off with such great energy. I'm Pamela Bailey. I'm the lead practitioner here at this center, and I'd like to have the other practitioners and ministers stand, if you would, please. All of you, wherever you are, hiding out. Okay, back in the back, we have our righteous Reverend Pam, and we have Marcia Beebe at the control board. Then we have Reverend Lynn Chaplain Noe and the wonderful Buzz Noe. And then we have Kelly Brzezinski, who's coming in as our new spiritual director. And Donna Butler, another wonderful practitioner here. And back in the corner is Shirley Berman, behind the mask there. And oh, is Dr. Sue there? Oh, well, clearly I don't have my glasses on. Okay, Shirley is doing her service in the kitchen. So sorry, Sue, you can tell, I truly cannot see, but she did have a mask on. Yeah, well, she had short hair and a mask. Just goes to show there's only one of us and we get confused. So having said that, I get to do the centering treatment this morning, and I'm delighted to have that privilege. And I just, I love the theme today, the one and only. And as we're going through this, the face of God, each and every one of us is that one and only. And each of us is part of that holiness that is life itself. All that said, I'd like to do a couple quotes and then a treatment. And on this auspicious day where Pam is having her last moment at the pulpit as senior minister, and she and I actually go back more than 20 years when, oh my goodness, we're like 30. when Spencer and Katie were little, and so was Mason. In any case, those were the different days. Oh, and again, I don't have my glasses on. I apologize. All right, so here we are. There is, so from Anonymous, that person who has so much wisdom, our first quote is, don't limit your challenges. Challenge your limits. I like little short quotes. And then, hold on, I have them marked here. Okay. And, all right, this is not the, right. Okay, well, all right. So, you will be given constant suggestions by the Spirit regarding the sanest and most fruitful methods of living your own personal life in unity with God. And that's from Genevieve Barrett. And let us listen to those good suggestions. And last but not least, this is from Ernest Holmes, our founder, and he said in the Science of Mind textbook, the circle of love is complete. It comprehends all, includes all, and binds all together with cords of everlasting unity. And that's what life truly is. And let us then go into treatment, into an affirmative prayer here on this beautiful spring day, summer day. On this beautiful summer day where it's bright and sunny and a little breeze. And just, let's take a deep breath. And just bask in the love present right here and right now. Love for one another, love for life, love for spirit, and love knowing that it is the greatest power and the most healing power in this universe. And so as I know that there is that one and only, just that one essence of life, that one spirit that guides and creates and is powerful and heals, I know that I am one with that, and that each and every one of us, our true nature is one with that. And so, as I bask in that oneness that I have with Spirit, I know that as I open up, the truth is revealed. I see the greater good. I see the actions to be taken. I see those ways to allow love to be more fully present in my life and to express it to those who matter to me, and to have my say in having this world be the best place it can be. And so in that place of knowing that there is that one face of God everywhere we look, knowing that the divine spirit is within each and every human being, within each and every plant, animal, excuse me, even every rock, all of it is God. And there is a perfection within all of that. And I allow myself to step back and get a new perspective and look for that perfection and allow it to show up and be joyful when it does. And here on this auspicious day, in this wonderful place, I give great thanks for these truths of our oneness and our love, and I give great thanks for every person here participating and every person here as part of this celebration. And I release this knowing it is already done, and together we say, and so it is. And I have the wonderful privilege of introducing the one, the only, awesome Alberto Delpino to play something.
Thank you, Pamela. She's too kind. But for this occasion today, and I have to say it took somebody to leave this place as a minister to have you all here. That's unbelievable. But it's a sad thing, but we have to be joyous because we got somebody new here that I am sure will lead this community in a spectacular way. I've known Kelly for a long time now, and it's going to be great. And for this occasion, thank you. For this occasion, I would like to play one of my compositions. It's called The Carousel, because after all, times comes and go. And it's always the same, nevertheless. So here we go with The Carousel.
I believe it's Dr. Sue and I, but before she even comes up, can we use, yes, thank you. And Alberto, so intuitive. Well, that was a sad song. Thanks, Alberto. So, anyway, and before she even comes up, I just want to take this moment to thank each and every one of you in this room and those also online. Because of you, we are here. It's as simple as that. And there are some, I don't want to leave anybody out, but I just, as I say your names, you don't have to come up. I just want to thank our Sunday crew that not only was with all of us together, not only through all the 20 years I've been here, but also especially during COVID. And that was incredible. And it would be Marcia Beebe, who the place would not function without her. As long as I was minister anyway, the place would not function without Rev Lynn, Buzz Noe, Our wonderful Alberto, who always filled in at the last minute. Pamela Bailey, our lead practitioner, head of our board. And then each and every one of you and practitioners. And Savina, who has always been here with Plumman. He is the wind beneath her wings. And just, I know I'm missing people. That's all I can tell. Who else am I missing here? Oh, I know Dr. Sue. No. Let me just tell you, and behind it all, and the mystery behind it all is Dr. Sue Rubin, who I've always turned to, and I just want to say that I'm just I'm just saying that behind the scenes, she has given me advice which I did not take, and I'm just I'm just telling you, listen to her. We all got here where we are today by hook or crook, but it would have been an easier journey had I always call her rightness now, because she was always right, and it took me time to come to that consciousness. And on this note, what you missed is I said to you, I said, I want you with me when I leave. You brought me in, you're taking me out. So please come up, and when I talk about the one and only, and I'll lead in, and then you're going to take it from there. Hi. When I thought of this subject, the one and only, I thought it is true. It is the God within us all. And just because I have the title as minister, it's something that was a calling to me that was always inside. Oh, you look so pretty. You thank you. I haven't even looked at you. So anyway, it's a title, but it is more than that, because as the Buddhists say, how we do one thing is how we do everything. And also there are these divine appointments we have in our life, and you are one of them for me. You are truly a soul sister, and I'm just going to, we can do our whole journey here, but you were also so important to Patrick too. And a lot of the people here were with Patrick also, which is my husband, obviously, in the heaven, at his new address in the heaven world. And Alberto too. Alberto was with us too the whole time. So I know that the one and only is the God divine within me that expresses as me. And as I open up to it, I get to meet soul sisters like you and come into sync. And that's, you take it, Sue.
So, okay, first of all, good morning, everyone. And I would like to start, I picked up Emerson's essay on friendship. And I've got a quote, and he states it in the plural, but I'm addressing it to the singular, to my friend, Reverend Pam. He says, I awoke this morning with devout thanksgiving for my friend. I shall not call on anyone but God the Beautiful, who really daily shows itself unto me in this gift, and not me, myself. My friend has come to me unsought. The great God gives her to me. I find neither anything that I have done, but rather I see more fully with my friend the deity in both of us.
Oh, wow. And so it is.
Oh, I'm not done. I'm just getting started.
How foolish of me. I do know you. What was I thinking?
Exactly. Okay, so first I want to give a little summary of where we've been, and in chronology and in the history of it, it would appear that nothing is happening other than time marches on. Hi, Spencer. And as time marches on, we are very much, as divine beings, also very human. So we're very focused on the outer. So here's the sequence. In 1985, neither Pam or I knew each other existed, because in 1985, I was headed up to Canada, to Edmonton, for my first ministry, and Pam had just discovered the Conejo Valley Church of Religious Science in Westlake Village. So already we're forming an invisible pattern of a picture that stands supposedly in its completeness today, and yet it's a new beginning. Time marches on. I stay in Canada for 13 years. I come back in 1995, did an interim gig in Honolulu for ministry, and then was called upon to become the senior minister at the Westlake Center. That was 1996 of June. By 2000, and Pam had been at the center. She was in charge of the youth and was a very integral part of the whole thing. So in 1996, we both arrive and meet each other. By 2000, I had taught all the preliminary classes and was ready to do the ministerial class. And for the first time ever, our mutual friend and colleague, Dr. Dennis Merritt Jones, who was in the Simi Valley, and I decided to team teach the ministerial class. So herein stands with Patrick. The two of them attended that class, among others. And in 2000, they were licensed ministers. They passed every test with flying colors. And Pam and Patrick became, again, very involved with the youth of the church. Now, paperwork was never the big thing, so we have a mutual friend, Diane Brabant, who used to continuously shove the papers. We're reaching a deadline. Dr. Sue, you're sitting on it. She's sitting on it. Come. So we share many things. So as time marched on, by 2009, after 13 years at Westlake, I decided to leave. And in that same time, Pam was there, and all was well. But a year later, Patrick passed away. And so I had devoted a year to determining my ministry was not over, just the specific form and shape of it, as it had looked in a day-by-day pulpit administrative capacity. So I was guest speaking, and during that year, Pam was going through, because we both went through a loss. I mean, if we're talking not quantity, but quality, loss was our common denominator. I had lost a 25-year, what I perceived as a ministerial role as minister, and she had lost the love of her life. And so it took a year for both of us to engage in a preparatory cycle that would bring us to that perfect starting point for something new for both of us. And so Pam approached me and said, would you do me a favor? Would really be a great help and solace to me if you would commit to speaking once a month with me and just helping out to the degree whatever you're interested in. So here we are, like 10 years later. And
It's actually 12 years later, going on 13. and this is, everything you said is absolutely true. And I just want to add for the people here too, and on Facebook, when Patrick made his transition, I had no clue what I was going to do. I didn't plan on staying a minister. And each and every one, and I remember Hildy coming over. I remember that when Patrick died, Hildy's here, and I don't get to see her very often. But I'll never forget, every electronic device I had blew up in the house. The computers, the microwave, the refrigerator, and Hildy showed up with a microwave. I was like the walking wounded, but all of the congregation showed up for me so strongly that I realized that my spiritual family is that oneness in that only the one, and was supporting me. And in that time, you came to speak, and I said, Dr. Sue, you said, what can I do for you? And I said, you can come every month. And she has for the last 12 years. It's been 12 years she's been here every month, and sometimes more than that, dragging and kicking and screaming all the way, because she's speaking everywhere. She's speaking everywhere right now. So she's always made this center a priority. She's an adjunct to the board on this priority in that place. And she has been a lot of the wisdom, when I listen to her, behind the wind in my wings, too, to keep me going and keeping it so. But it was your love, your commitment, your power, your presence that made me to stand up and really be a minister of the people, instead of wallowing in what am I going to do and how am I going to do it. Because as I said, you are all that divinity within you, and what calls to you deep within you, just follow it. Just follow it. And I now know during this journey that, first of all, I'm not losing any of you. We'll all be gaining something. Let me tell you, Kelly's coming in. He's young. He's strong. He doesn't have a truck like Patrick did, but he can move things. I'm just telling you. I said to everybody, the only reason Patrick and I were ever hired here was because Patrick was a guy and he had a truck and he could schlep. He could schlep things. And then I had a son and a daughter who helped a lot too. So anyway, during all of this, it's because of you I'm here, and it's because of you that I'm moving forward, and the center is moving forward with new, wonderful energy. And I know that you and I will still be that energetic presence behind a lot of things. So go ahead.
So, given all that, there were many who preceded the formation of this, at the time, Church of Religious Science. And there are many who have been here now. But for what you and I know in our personal relationships, really the one and only, that deity that really comes alive within all of us through the way that we relate to others, is really what goes on forever. So whatever is next in store for any of us, it always gives me a big kick to realize, just as in the beginning, those 20 years ago, the whole picture was already complete in the mind of God. It knew that everything that was unfolding, the comings and the goings, two people in two different countries, but knowing that in the one and only, in the one mind, in the one heart and loving presence and creative power of God, that love and law that work inseparably and indescribably in a magnificent way, it was all a process. We each had to become ready to do what we finally did every step of the way. And so if there's any doubt, which there is so much of it, just in our contemporary world, my heavens, look what's been happening over the past couple of years, and still a very deep uncertainty about where do we go from here? Where do our kids go from here? And their kids. There is always that reassurance that we have got to retain, that wherever Pam goes, the things that constitute a friendship are really interesting. And that's what Emerson's essay on friendship is about. It's a philosophical approach that says, particularly in today's technological environment, we have many friends, People meet, and now it's like, how many Facebook friends have you got, That's not friendship. That's a passing by facade for looking like it's a friendship. What do the most hits get on someone reading a post? Either someone is lolly-dollying in a foreign country with wine and lavish food spread before them, or somebody equally gets the attention if they're being downright honest and saying, here's the struggle that I'm going through. This is the hardships that I'm experiencing. But I notice that there's something that goes on forever, and that is the principle that has sustained every religion, whichever you go to, and whichever is your preference or whatever spiritual faith tradition, that is the principle that has established this long. Was Cynthia the first minister? Did she?
Yes,
She
Cynthia
founded
Clare
that.
founded that
Yeah, so
center,
long
yeah.
before Cynthia Clare, who was the founding minister of this center, started, there's an idea, the idea of being community, friendship. And what does friendship consist of? What has ours consisted of? I know darn well that it's not advice. I am no one to give advice, because where is the only answer ever? within ourselves, within the inner teacher. But I can sure as hell make suggestions.
Oh, you have.
Yeah, that's it. And
You
so,
did.
as time marches on, I come to realize that I can't count. I can't count on my Facebook friends. I can count only on that which indwells me. And so Emerson talks about the basis, where you meet some people and it's immediate click. There's a resonance. There's a connection. And others, it's just, it's a casual acquaintance and it's lovely and occasionally you get together, but that's it. There is something deeper that is of deity, of God, of the divine, that calls us to who comes and who stays, perhaps longer than someone else stays. And he says that the constituting element that makes this so is, number one, honesty. That's why we do offer suggestions to people. Hey, have you ever considered that this might be a preferred way of approaching life, or at least thinking about it? That honesty and sincerity with which I'm just not a fair weather friend. I'm just not going to tell you all the good things you want to hear. I've got to hold myself as well as you accountable for a greater standard of being. And to me, God is the gold standard. Take the L out of gold, and what do you get? You get God. And so the purpose of what we have and we continue to share on very personal basis, not just related to this. This is just one aspect of God revealing itself through Pam. She's a creative, dynamic expression of the divine. What she was doing before, writing and video production, who knows if that is not yet the next level of creative expression that is just awaiting her readiness. And who knows what it is for me. Back in the back burner, there's a book. Will I write it? I don't know. It's not foremost in my mind. But I know it's a possibility, and I know that as long as I keep directing the infinite intelligence, that universal mind of God, and a heart that only wants to become conscious of itself and can do that only through you and only through me and only through all of us, I know that I will keep going and keep chugging, just like that little rabbit. The batteries that sustain it, well, my battery is God, and I know yours is. So I just know that the other quality with which friendships are forged, besides that resonance and that sincerity and honesty, it's sensitivity and gentleness. Just a kind of thing that can see someone through pain and not pat them on the shoulder and say, oh, grieving. There's a time limit on that. It'll pass. No, nobody wants to hear that, nor is it the truth. Yeah. It takes what it takes, just as it took what it took for us to be standing here, like since 1986, when we didn't know we existed. Here we are.
And what's so interesting is everybody sees Dr. Sue as, oh, she's tough. Every time you say Dr. Sue, it's like, oh, she has this high standard of nobility and integrity, and you have to stand up. I'll never forget, and some of you know this story. In ministerial, which is a normal thing, and I think it's a good thing, I was called, the deepest part of me, to look and say, do I really want to be a minister? And I go into her office, the two of us. She doesn't even remember this. And I remember Lisa's picture with Chopra was behind her, sitting with Deepak Chopra. By the way, Lisa has always been with us too. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Anyway, so I go in and I go, Dr. Sue, and I'm crying. I said, I don't even know if I want to be a practitioner anymore. And when I said those words, tears streamed down her face. Now, Dr. Sue's not one. When I was not in a personal relationship, you were my minister, and I looked at her and I said, well, maybe I've changed my mind. I thought, oh my God, this is so deep. Who you are is so deep and so personal. And I am so grateful for the journey. That's all I can say. The journey for all of us right here being woven together in this cloth, that fine thread of love is what connects us all. And I am just grateful for every single living moment of it, and knowing I really do. By the way, I am, some people have misunderstood. I'm not starting a production company. I just thought I'd tell you, and we don't. I'm just, my last day. What do I care? So I came into life talking to the dead. And my kids know this. A lot of people know this. And Dr. Sue used to say, "Is that really important?" I said, "Well, yeah, to me it is." And there is a chance I'm going to do a sizzle reel. Someone has approached me to do a show for the networks where I am meeting people, not only in an auditorium, and I'm inviting all of you when that happens, but also one-on-one and then outside, and just bringing who I am, the flavor of who I am, out on that, and we're going to see if it works. But it'll be a show to comfort those that are thinking about those in the heaven world that are so sad, and those also in the heaven world wanting so much to communicate with all of us. And so I'm looking forward to all of that. And Caitlin, every time I think of this, Katie's best friend Caitlin is here, and it's Michael Emerson who contacted me. And I'll never forget, on the way home one time, I always thought I was such a great mom, and then the kids, I was on my cell phone one time, I'll never forget this, and I was cussing and yelling at him and saying every awful word you can possibly say. I was so mad, because we were business partners. I was so mad. And years later, she said, "Pam, I'll never forget." And I went, "I did that. Oh, my God, I'm so sorry." I was probably throwing the phone and everything as I'm driving. And I said, "I'm so sorry." And she says, "Oh, no, I'd never heard words like that before." So when all of a sudden I thought of Michael, I thought of Caitlin, because it was him. I was just ripping him to shreds. Anyway, so we survived because we, too, are here, and for years now I have connected him with, he's very Catholic, so he doesn't want anybody usually to know this. He's open and ready and receptive. I've connected him to his mother and other friends that have gone to the other world. And so he called me, and although I have been in touch with him, and I said, sure. So soon we'll be shooting what he calls a sizzle reel to sell, and we don't know, but that's one of it. And the other thing is working with Plumman behind the scenes on screenplays, and so it is, yeah, which I have not had time to do because of ministry and trying to make everything run and work through COVID. So I think this is such a great opportunity for us, in our own unique, wonderful fingerprint of God that we bring, to go on and do our creative work, however that looks like to you, through the wisdom. And I also want to thank, speaking of wisdom, Betty Ann Brennan was the assistant minister here for a long time. And I know she's with me right now. I sense her. I feel her. I know she's here. And because of her also. And because of her, and also I have prayer partners, Pat Ingman and Marcia and Tom Ingman, that help me stay on track. Also along with you. So that I got nothing left except that I love you. I'm not going away. If you ever want to call me or anything, please. And behind the scenes, I told Kelly I would not interfere. No, just kidding, Kelly. that I am here to support this transition for him too. I so think that he is the right and perfect person. And long before I thought it, Spencer, who did our online show on Zoom forever, said, "Mom, you need him. He's young, he's bright, he's fun." And you got it, Sping. You read it early. So anyway, I just know that it's going to be bigger, better, badder than ever before. gooder than ever before. And I love each and every one of you. And you close.
So what I know is that these times, and personally, it's such a moving, profound lesson for you and for me to know that every cycle does have a completion. The thing is, humanly, we don't often let that completion happen. You ever hang on to something? No, this can't change. We talk change. No one talks change better than religious scientists. But come change, it's like the barriers go down and the resistance goes up. But when one does stop and think, not of the human situation, not of the condition or the uncertainty where possibilities exist, and yet within that greater mind, that big think tank of the universe, it is already known where you go, what you do, who you meet, the new friendships and relationships that you form, as well as for me. Because remember, you thought you were helping me out. I've said it 1,000 times. When we started together, you every much as more than that helped me out, because it's a wonderful thing to go here and there, but it's also a wonderful thing to have roots where your heart really is drawn. And people like Pamela and the board and the practitioners, you know, that's all meant a significant place in my heart. So I know that the one and only is God, but I know ever more clearly, because how do you know God? Only through the actual experience of your own life and the people you meet. And people are the crucible for spiritual growth. Let's not kid ourselves. Maybe that's why we keep so many Facebook friends, because it is at a safe distance. But come close and upfront and personal, and you get to discover yourself and discover how accountable and responsible am I really for my thoughts, my feelings, and my actions. And to that degree, I will play it out with you, where I will either withdraw. So it's bittersweet, and I acknowledge that. I'm sad at that point of what? Resisting the change, the shift, that my little familiar, loving, creative environment is changed, and you're going on to do your thing, and that again is my call to just keep living. As long as I'm here, there must be something more for me to do. As a
Exactly.
youngster of 30. So that's what I know in my heart. I love you very, very much. So the one and only is God, but the one and only in my life right here, right now, is you, Reverend Pamela Geagan.
And oh my God, and Sue Rubin, the one and only is God as you in my life, every single moment of my life. And I am just so thrilled. And see, she cries, and I just melt. I'm going, oh no, get that. And I love, love, love. And you know that. You know that. We even have, I want to say grand dogs, but we,
Right.
we have destroyer dogs together, kind of.
So,
Oh, it's a drop the mic moment.
you better be singing us a love song, Alberto.
And now it is our wonderful Alberto. Yay! Is it working? Working. Talk about, oh, you don't want that one.
No, I need
Bad.
it.
I'm trying.
So, I wanted to celebrate today not only Reverend Pam completing her ministerial job, because it is a job to make this place so special. It's not an easy thing. And as I have been in several centers for spiritual living in the past 22 years, I know, I've seen a lot, and I have seen how difficult it is. People from that side of this pulpit, they take for granted the fact that everything is nice and run smoothly, but it takes an effort. Every time, every single time we are here, it takes a lot. And I just wanted to thank Reverend Pam for the love she has brought to this community. But also, I want to remind everybody and celebrate the life of Patrick Geagan. who has been together with Pam, the real center of this center. And I'm lucky because my love is Irish music, and Patrick was Irish. So I'm going to play a song that was one of the favorites of Patrick and Pam. Here we go with Danny Boy.
Tell me what's a-happening, my name's Buzz. Here's what's a-happening this week. So, here we all are on Rev Pam's last day as minister. I'm sure she'll still love us and not become sinister. A bit later, we will honor her with our noon barbecue because she's the one and only for me and all of you. And it was great to have her and Dr. Sue here both speak. Oops, on the phone, sorry. And now it's me that's here with the announcements for this week. As I mentioned at noon today, in celebration of Rev Pam's retirement, a barbecue by Tom Mott and Shirley Berman will be happening in our outside environment. It starts about noon and will probably run a bit past 2, with lots of great food barbecued by them for all of you. We will also have a few sides and a few treats donated, so please do join us as Rev Pam is celebrated. To attend this event, the cost is only $20, and you can sign up and join us now even if you haven't signed up. So, the next session of our social club event is not scheduled yet, but we will announce it just as soon as it is set. We connect with each other socially in this very entertaining event, and when you do that in a positive way, it is a time well spent. And we are continuing with our 2-for-1 books sale going on in the bookstore. It remains incredibly well stocked with fantastic things galore. There are lots of books and jewelry in stock that will give your life much glee. And once again, when you buy something today, you will get something else for free. So please keep in mind that our center is here for you. So please let us know what we can do. The spiritual treatment that we provide will reveal your perfection and allow you to thrive. You can always leave a request by phone or send us an email from wherever you roam. And we are excited that we are now able to gather together here live in our center that is still dedicated to help us all thrive. Your loving donations are needed to keep our center going, and with them we will remain open to keep your wellness flowing. So please do donate to the center here now or from wherever you live. And coming up now is another slide with the online ways to give. Here's our center website for your tax-deductible donation. Anything you can give will help us stay open in this location. And keep in mind that our focus here is to keep all of you well, so you can donate to the center both with PayPal and with Zelle. And 2 other places where you can lend a hand, please do give them whatever you can. The Ventura County Rescue Mission provides the homeless with much good, and the Ventura County Food Share feeds the needy in our hood. And a reminder that our center is part of Ralph's Community Contribution Program. A portion of whatever you spend at the store gives our center a small donation or more. So please do sign up or simply renew. Ralph's will contribute to us at no cost to you. Our center's code number is JE859. You can sign up at the store or you can do it online. And another way to help our center for a while is to shop online using Amazon Smile. When you complete your purchase for the items you got, it donates to our center right on the spot. And finally, here we are now on the last July date. So let's all know that August will make our life great. There you have it. And that ends the announcements. As I finish with that confirmation, next up will be Rev Pam again with our offering affirmation. And soon after that, we will finish our lesson. Thanks again to all of you for attending this session. And please do stay around for our noon barbecue. It's always a great joy to gather with all of you. Thank you.
So we're going to wipe the mic. But first, we're going to do our opening. No, you're going to play it. You're not. You're going to. No, would you play under the prayer part? And we'll wipe the mic afterwards. But right now, let us do our offering affirmation. And again, we exist because of you. We've been here now for over 30 years, and it's because of all the people that have crossed here and recognized that money is just a piece of paper. It is the energy behind that not only brings this center and makes it the light into the community, but also brings energy and good into all of our lives. So there you go. Yes.
So that does not mean to say this place is rolling in cash or checks or credit cards. This means to say that I, not as a permanent part of this organization, can speak to you honestly and say, come on, I know there's inflation. I know things are difficult for many people. And yet it is said that the calendar in your checkbook tell you where your focus is. And if that doesn't reflect an ongoing, continuous, conscious giving to the place that speed heals us, as well as time over the course of it uplifts us, this is it. So if you can find it in your hearts and in your wallets to give, today particularly, not just today, but as a kickoff to a new message into mind that says business still goes on. Electricity has to be paid, bills have to be paid, ministries have to be paid. Life does go on as a business as well as a spiritual organization. So find it in your heart today to add a zero to those thousands you already give. Or do your best. Come on, this is the most valuable thing you can do for yourself and for the world.
Okay, together. Divine love blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is, and that's the way it is. And as our ushers, I'm not sure who our ushers are today. Do we have ushers? Yes, we do. Savina's going there. Yes, right now. And I just want to say, we're going to be doing our closing prayer as and Donna, yay! Is Donna going to do this too? Oh, okay, great. Great. The little basket is an affirmation card. Please take it home from Betty Ann. And my refrigerator's filled with them, along with children's pictures. And thank you, Savina. And I want to thank Shirley Berman she's one of my closest friends, from the bottom of my heart, Ralph Brennan and Tom Mott, for making our barbecue possible today. Yay! And they've all been with us all these years too. This is great. So, on this note, I'm going to start. You'll close. We do this on the phone all the time too. So, yes, yeah. Last night at like 11 or something like. So, I always place my hand on my heart because it connects me with the divine. That chemical energy, actually, they now know, connects us to that which is the divine within us. And so I just give thanks for it all right here and right now. And on this journey of forever becoming who we are in the highest aspect, in our integrity, in our nobility, shining this light in the soul, not only inward but outward in greater ways, in greater compassion, greater love, greater intelligence, and greater works that say, God is, I am. I pass this on to our wonderful Dr. Sue.
And so what is happening is all happening first and foremost in the mind of God. That which already has a completed picture, not only personally and individually for everyone, but as this collective spiritual community dedicating to teaching the truth that frees, that liberates, that finds that center, that very core of being within one and all, wherein all answers are discovered, all creative juices flow, all kindness and generosity of spirit seeks only to pay honor to the divine by helping all those humanly that not only we know, but so many that are far away, unknown. And so I tap into and harness more, ever more, that infinite, boundless energy that God is, I am, as I bless this moment and the wonderful changes and new leadership and ministry that evolves out of it. I know each one is blessed, guided, governed, and directed by that one infinite intelligence and perfect intuitive knowingness, as well as the love that motivates and heals and restores and renews. And so I give thanks and I bless everyone here, starting with my beloved friend, knowing with certainty that everything good, everything of love and joy and fulfillment is not just contained within this room, but has its perfect resting place in restoring peace, goodness, oneness, harmony throughout this planet. I give thanks for this day and every day that has led to it for this moment now and for all the moments that follow, declaring that this is a new beginning for which I am so grateful for one and for all. And so together in acceptance and in gratitude, let us declare, and so it is.
And so it is, it must be time for
Oh.
a little something
Should I open this now?
spiritual community.
Oh, okay.
This
Oh.
is from all of us to show you how much you are loved. We want to just wrap you in a big hug. So please accept this on behalf as a token of gratitude.
Oh my, is it a blessed shawl? Is it, of course. Oh my God.
Read it out loud.
Oh my God. This is incredible.
Yeah, read it though.
Oh my God. It says, to our dear Rep Pam, with deep gratitude for 20 plus years of loving service, that so it and so it is. Love it. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's gorgeous. Now I have to hang it. Wear it. Oh, okay. All right. Oh my God. Now, all of us, for my last closing, come up if comfortable. You can stay or go. And I think my son-in-law is, I know he's here with my grandson too, and I think his, Katie's father-in-law is also here. And I'm just really grateful that he came to be backup support for, little Ronan. Okay, come up if you're in the crew, and oh my God. I feel like a Jewish scholar. It's so good. Or Hindu. Before everybody, before you go, can I ask one thing? I want to take a picture of everybody. So if, yeah, you guys could stay here, all the, you want to sing the song first, I'm sorry. Have all the practitioners come up when we're done with the song. And then everybody just turn around, I'm gonna take the picture from the back. So when you're done, okay. All right, when ready. Up there, Doe, come up. Oh my God. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, and we all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, yes, begins with me, and this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with something wonderful is happening to me right now. I know it in my mind. I feel